Hi, in this video I'd like to talk about abstract data types. Now abstract data types is not something in software development. It is something in VCE algorithmics. However, there is one particular data type that we will use in our course because it's just useful to use and I use it quite often. And that object is the list. So look, there's a bunch of abstract data types. There's the list, there's the queue, there's the stack, there's linked list, there's tree, there's so many. There's like quite a lot. And as a programmer, it's useful to be familiar with all of these things because we do use these when we program algorithms or program something, especially when you want to increase the efficiency of your software. Now you can see here the list is the one that I want to show you in this video. It's useful. It's a useful one for our course. It's the one that we'll use. And I tend to use this over the array. So I don't like using the array. I rather use the list. The queue used to be in the previous study design and the stack used to be in the previous study design. But to be honest, having an understanding of these is pretty important as a programmer. But also it's nice to know these to practice programming with. The linked list and the tree are in VC algorithmics and we're not going to touch those. But I just wanted to let you know that there's so many different types of data types, abstract data types. So let's go to the list. I'll show you the list. First I'll show you the array and then I'll tell you how the list extends the array. So we'll double click anywhere, it doesn't matter. I'll do it in form load. And what I'll do is I'll first create an array, which is a data structure, not an abstract data type. So the array, I'll just call the array as some array, whatever, as integers. The array, let's chuck stuff in it. Let's just chuck 1, 2, 3, whatever. Just chuck those. So the array, if you want to access the array, you use this memory location here, 3, and you can like put something else in it, like 1000, right? So now this is in the array right now, but then I've just changed the locate 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So this number we changed to 21,000. And you use numbers to access the arrays. And if you want to add more memory, more to the array, you really can't unless you resize the array. So it's pretty much fixed with that size. So arrays are fixed size in a sense. You need to basically tell them, how many positions you want. If you create an array, an empty array, array 1, you should tell it how many locations it has. And then you would use that many locations. So there's 4 locations there because the end index is 3 and it starts at 0. And sometimes that's an issue because sometimes we don't know how big our memory space is. And that's kind of the limitations to an array. So then what we can use now is we can use the list. So I can use a list. So I can go dim list, dim list, it's a list, list as a list of integers. That's the wrong syntax. It should be just space of integers. And of course I could, put in the same things into the list when they start off. List of integers. Let me just, okay. List of integers. I need to, and this is the syntax for the list of integers. And the syntax should be brackets, open brackets, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. So you got to have 2 brackets there. So there's a curved bracket and then curly brackets, and you put it like an array in. So you can do that if there's different numbers, or you can actually put the array in the list. So I can just chuck in here our array in the list. So all of this stuff gets transferred here. But now what we've done is this data that's in the array, we've kind of enclosed it in a list. And the cool thing about a list is it's got some other features. So the array, you know, there's not a lot of features. For the array, you can check the count of the array, so you can see how many is in the array. So I could message box the count of the array, right? So there should be 4. Oops, wrong one. There should be 4, so it should print a 5 actually. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5, not 3. There should be 5. So, and what else can we do with the array? Let's go dot and let's have a search. So there's a few other things we can do with the array. So, we can reverse it. So there's a bit of things that we can do with the array there. We can clone, but the list on the other hand, which is nicer, what we can do is we could, you know, use it the same way. We can go list number 3 and then we can we replace a number with this, right? Let me just do that. So exactly like the array, we can use it exactly like the array. So the list is under the hood is an array, but there's some other features. Let me just do that. Let me just put a breakpoint here and have a look at this memory 3 here, 0, 1, 2, 3. This 6 should change to 21,000 and then 7. Let's check out, let's watch our list. And there's 5 locations and there you go. But the neat thing about the array is I could add more things to it. I can add 10, I can add, and I can keep adding. And you don't have this luxury with or at least it's not as easy as a list. You know, I'm just going to add a whole bunch of stuff. Put a breakpoint, let's have a look. So you can see now there's 8 locations and they're the new stuff I've added to the list. So it's great. So really, if you don't know how much memory you need, you can use a list and just keep adding it until, you know, until as much as you need. You don't have to allocate a certain amount of memory spaces for an array. You can resize arrays, but why when you've got a list? You can use a list. And that's a great thing about a list. And you can access it just like an array. And you can also remove things very easily. So you can remove all. I'm going to remove all. I can remove at some location. So I can remove it at, let's go 0, 1. Let's remove this one, 0, 1, 2. Let's remove at 2. All right, so we should lose the 4. The 4's gone. Forgot to put my breakpoint. So at location 2, notice the 4's gone. The 4's gone. And the 6 is replaced with 21,000. You can remove. You can also check how long the list is. You can use count, how many items in the list, like normal, like the array. You can, what else can you do? You can average, average the array. Average the array. I wonder what that gives me. So I'm just gonna message box average. So you can do some fancy calculations with the array. And that's the average, I guess that's the average. But the main one is you can keep adding and you can remove. If you need to, you can find. You could find, so you don't even need to use your own linear search. But I'm not going to teach you how to use the find. Actually, you need to use you pass a predicate, but I'm not going to teach you that because, to be honest, I don't want you to use a find on the list for our course. I want you to use your own, you know, search algorithm for this course. If you're using a list the finds list method, you won't get the marks for it. I'm just letting you know now. But I'm happy to allow you to use a remove and an add with the list because it just makes life a little bit easier. All right, thanks for listening.